Hello everybody, I am in Prague today and I thought I would just do a little video to talk about the blog I am putting out today, which is all about how do you find compelling content. Now, I'm in Prague. That's quite a story, isn't it? I'm in Prague to teach a leadership course, and it was funny because I was also here last week, and last week I had an issue happen in that my bag disappeared. So I arrived in Prague, went to this fancy hotel where I'm running this leadership course, thinking, oh my god, I've got no handouts, I've got no makeup, I've got I've got nothing to wear, and I had to literally dash to the local shops and buy myself a brand new outfit and some makeup in the space of about 20 minutes. And it was hilarious and stressful beyond belief, but it was a good story. So what I did was I shared it on Facebook, and I got such a positive response. You know, I had like people saying, oh my god, Nikki, you'll be fine, you're such a good trainer, you know, you can do this, you'll be brilliant anyway. I got so much love and support from people, and it encouraged me to do another share. My bag eventually arrived, and funny things had happened along the way. I ended up having a midnight chat with somebody in the hotel who was a hotel manager, who then started telling me all about, you know, some grief he was going through in his life, and I was supporting him. And it was like whole cascade of things happened because I didn't have my bag. I felt connected to people in my life at home. I felt connected to this poor guy in the hotel that was going through a bad time, and it was lovely. And the point is, it was a story, and it connected me, and it just happened. And Bev and I have been talking recently about, you know, where do you find stories? What is the place to find stories? And I think one of the things we came up with is finding them in the everyday, because your life is quite fascinating to people who might want to buy your stuff or might follow you. And I never thought about this, but I travel all the time with my work. You know, look, here's beautiful Prague. You know, I'm not sure you can see that much. I'm just in the hotel at the moment, but that's quite interesting, isn't it? You know, and it's not something I ever talked about for years on my blog, and I just thought, well, there's something quite a lot to learn every day when I'm traveling or I'm seeing new places. There's always a good story in it that I could share. So I've started doing that a bit more recently. But you know, what about your life? I mean, I've met many a creative whose work is fascinating just because what they do. You know, they have a fascinating process. They have, you know, unusual ways of creating art. In my blog I talk about somebody who's a music maker, and his process is basically when he gets an advert that he has to make music for, he has to stare at these blank images, and it's like overwhelming for him, but he sits there and sort of twiddles away on his guitar and hums a bit, and then that kind of is the first part of his process, and then he comes up with something. And you know, just talking about that process could be a really good story. Or places to go to if you're a photographer or filmmaker. Do you go on interesting shoots? Do you meet interesting people? If you share those little stories, it tells people a little bit about your life, about what you're up to, about what you're thinking about, what you're up to, because often our stories create meaning in our lives as well. So just by sharing it about your everyday on a regular basis, you'll be more likely to build up your brand, to help people to relate to you and what your work is about and who you are as a person. So that's all from me. I didn't lose my bag this time, so I'm just going to go out now and see the sights of lovely, beautiful Prague. It's one of my favourite cities, and yeah, I hope this is a useful blog to you. Do share a little story below. Where do you find stories? What do you like to tell stories about? Tell us a story even, that would be nice. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.